Let's get to a very sad and somewhat culturally important story of the day. The first thing I saw when I looked at the internet this morning was the news of the passing of Christopher Hitchens. James Creighton, he was really a great man of letters, wasn't he?
He was indeed, and I think the word, Prue, that's come back most often this morning on the front paragraph of pretty much every article I read is polemicist. He was a particularly divisive character and a brilliant journalist, a brilliant writer, known across the English-speaking world, and I suppose known for stirring up controversy and for dividing opinion. And so I suppose all across the media, you can see here on the New Statesman website, their website was pretty much taken over with tributes to Hitchens. He once edited the New Statesman. So you had this piece by George Eaton, who defended him, basically. He said, yes, you know, he targeted Mother Teresa, he targeted Bill Clinton, he targeted Henry Kissinger, God, pretty much everybody, but always in defence of his values, the values of reason, secularism and pluralism, Enlightenment values. And so he didn't choose these targets, God, Henry Kissinger, etc., pretty different characters, it must be said, at random. They were chosen because they in some way didn't, I suppose, they offended one or more of his principles.
But it's interesting, James, that you mention his values, because people on the left were outraged that his values mid-career appeared to change. He was the champion of the left. He was a Trotsky man.
Right.
And he ended up supporting the war in Iraq. What happened?
Well, that's interesting, and that has come back again and again in the media today. The New York Times article spoke of that. They said, you know, that he, as you said, shocked many. He had to leave The Nation, the magazine he was working for at the time. He afterwards became a ferocious critic of what he called Islamo-fascism. He almost coined that term. He didn't quite coin it, but he certainly popularised it. So he became almost a figurehead of something very different to what he represented before, almost a figurehead of neoconservatism. And so that's the New York Times speak about that. Again, going back to Eaton in the New Statesman, he says, look, this was not a defence of neoconservative values. This was, again, for him, for example, his defence of the Iraq War, it was a bid to defend his own principles. He was very much a defender of the Kurds. He saw the Kurds as having been targeted in Iraq. So this was an opportunity to rid them of their, I suppose, of the man who had brutalised them. So it's certainly a figure that provokes an awful lot of debate. And just one thing to show you online, Prue, is this: Hitch Reads. This is a hashtag that has been very much used by those who have appreciated his work. People posting articles online that they found that marked them. I suppose it's a beautiful tribute, really, to the best tribute to make to a writer, to post articles like this in tribute to him. And just very quickly, some of the quotes I think that he was remembered for. You can't speak about the man without quoting him, I suppose. I personally think this one is pretty funny, if I could find it again. The 4 most overrated things in life.
Yes, tell me.
Champagne, lobster, anal sex and picnics.
Okay, so it's my first day at France 24 and we've got anal sex straight away.
I'll move on to something a little bit more mainstream. Henry Kissinger, how's that?
Okay.
A good liar must have a good memory. Kissinger is a stupendous liar with a remarkable memory. And we'll finish with Sarah Palin. She's a divisive character, if ever there was one, just like him, but they're very different. She's got no charisma of any kind, but I can imagine her being mildly useful to a low-rank porn director.
And on that front, he did have the bravery to go and get himself a Brazilian wax, didn't he?
Oh, well, I didn't know that. You're teaching me something.
And what else this Friday?
So, Brazilian waxes, we've had low-rank porn directors and other stuff. We'll move on to the most Googled words this year. Now, it's December, so of course, all of the media are doing retrospectives. And here we have on the Time newsfeed blog, Fukushima and Rebecca Black, apparently, were 2 of the 10 most Googled words this past year.
Sorry, and Rebecca Black is?
This, I actually wasn't sure myself, but this, when I saw the video, I remembered. Now, I think we'll play a little extract. She's a 14-year-old Californian singer, and the video was so bad that it was Googled just massively. Let's have a look.
Birthday was Thursday, today it's Friday. So excited, we gonna have a ball today. Tomorrow is Saturday, and Sunday comes afterwards. I don't want this weekend to end.
And do you know how many people viewed viewed that on YouTube. I think it was something like 11 million people, and YouTube now gives you the facility of liking or disliking a video. I think it was 283,000 people disliked it, compared to 76,000 people who liked it. So anyway, just because you're Googled doesn't necessarily mean you're appreciated.
But you're definitely appreciated and lovely to meet you.
Likewise, Prue, thank you.
James Creedon on more important matters like Christopher Hitchens.